Okay, so today we will discuss Anglo-Maratha Wars. So when it comes to Anglo-Maratha Wars, we have a battery of wars, right, which comprises of three important wars between the forces of English East India Company and the Marathas. When it comes to the time period of these wars, so the first Anglo-Maratha war was started in was started with an important event in 1775 and lingered on till 1782. When it comes to the second war, it started in 1803 and lingered till 1805, right? And when it comes to the third Anglo-Maratha war, it started in 1870 and ended in 1880. So these are three important wars which comprises of a battery of Anglo-Maratha wars. Now let's discuss these Anglo-Maratha wars one by one, right, on the basis of their causes, on the basis of the background, and on the basis of the implications of these wars. So when it comes to the first Anglo-Maratha wars, it was started in, the background of the war started with 1775 and lingered on till 1782. When we have to describe this war briefly, we could say that this war starts with Treaty of Surat in 1775, which was signed between Raghunath Rao and English forces stationed at Bombay, and ended with Treaty of Salwai in 1782. Clear? When it comes to the background of this war, so we could trace the background of this war with the death of Maratha Peshwa Madhav Rao. So Madhav Rao was died in 1772. Now after his death, there were two contenders of Peshwaship. First one is Narayan Rao, younger brother of Madhav Rao, and the other one is Raghunath Rao or Raghoba, right, son of Baji Rao, clear, and brother of Nana Sahib. Okay? So these were two contenders of Peshwaship after the death of Madhav Rao. Now this Raghunath Rao planned a gimmickry, and Narayan Rao was assassinated in 1772 itself. Clear? Then now this Raghunath Rao only left as a contender with the Peshwaship. So he was appointed as Peshwa. In 1773. Clear? He was appointed as Peshwa. But the widow of Narayan Rao posthumously delivered a son known by the name of Savai Madhav Rao. Right? Then the Confederation of Maratha Sardars decided to make this infant child Savai Madhav Rao as Peshwa instead of Raghunath Rao, right? Because by appointing Savai Madhav Rao, they could exercise more authority over that infant child, clear, rather than Raghunath Rao. So Savai Madhav Rao was made Peshwa, right, and a council of reagent known as Barabhai of 12 Maratha Sardars was appointed to look after the administrative affairs. Clear? Now this certainly disgruntled or infuriated Raghunath Rao, and he went to English East India Company, right, and signed Treaty of Surat. According to the provision of this treaty, he granted the island of Salsette and Bassein to the English East India Company, and along with other territories. Most of them were located in the territory of Gaikwad or Baroda. So, according to the provision of Treaty of Surat, English East India Company guaranteed support to the Raghunath Rao, right, for his contendership of the Peshwa. So, but this treaty was nullified by Calcutta Council. And if you could remind that after the Regulating Act of 1773, the governor of Bengal holds supremacy over the other governors, right? So, the decision of Calcutta Council superseded the decision of Madras, Bombay Presidency, right? So, this treaty was nullified, and another treaty was signed with other Maratha Sardars by English East India Company, okay, under the leadership of Warren Hastings, and that treaty is known by the name of Treaty of Purandar. Clear? It was signed in 1776. Now, according to the provision of this treaty, it was decided that English East India Company will not forward the contendership or not support the contendership of Raghunath Rao. Raghunath Rao will be awarded a pension, clear, and both these powers, that is the English East India Company and the Marathas, will not support the enemies, clear. So, Marathas will not support other European powers, and the English East India Company will not support the contendership of Raghunath Rao, right. It was decided with the signing of this treaty, that is Treaty of Purandar. But again, as time proceeded, both the parties breached this treaty. Now, Marathas granted a port, right, or a coastal region to French East India Company or French Company, clear, and on the other side East India Company did not lose the support, right, lose the action of supporting the Peshwa Raghunath Rao, clear. So, both the sides breached this agreements, that is Treaty of Purandar. So, after this act of breachment or violation, war sprang up between both these powers in 1777. Clear? So, there were series of wars. There were series of wars between both the parties, and but when it comes to some important wars which were there in these series of wars which occurred in the time period of more than 5 years, right? So the most important war is Treaty of Battle of Budgaon. Clear? In 1780. So Battle of Budgaon, in Battle of Budgaon, the English forces were severely suffered under the leadership of, against the leadership of Maratha Sardar Mahatji Scindia. And when they were encircled by the Maratha forces at Vadgaon, right, they sued for a peace treaty, and a treaty that is known as Treaty of Vadgaon was signed at this time. But again, war did not stop there, and there were a skirmish between them, right? There were series of forces, a series of battles, but finally the war ended in 1782 with Treaty of Salwai. According to the provision of this treaty, and status quo was maintained. So the situation remained almost similar that was there before the war, right? English gave up their claim over island of Bassein and other territory except the island of Salsette. So English company remained in the occupation of island of Salsette. Clear? Both the parties granted their assurances that they will not support their mutual enemies, right? They will not support their enemies. ठीक है? तेरा दुश्मन मेरा दुश्मन मेरा दुश्मन तेरा दुश्मन, ठीक है? जैसा हर ट्रीटी के बाद होता है. But most of the times these kind of treaty were breached. So this is an overview and conclusion of first war between English East India Company and Marathas. ठीक है? Any confusion? Treaty of Vadgaon was signed and a temporary peace was restored, but again there was an act of breachment and again war started on. ठीक है? So this is an overview of first Anglo-Maratha war. Now let's discuss the second Anglo-Maratha war. The time period for second Anglo-Maratha war is from to 1805. It started with Treaty of Bassein. Clear? And ended in loss of sovereignty by Marathas. Clear? When it comes to the background of this war, so the war or the events related to the war started with Treaty of Bassein. Clear? So why this treaty was signed? Peshwa Bajirao II, ठीक है, who happened to be the son of Raghunath Rao, right? So Peshwa Bajirao killed brother of Yashwantrao Holkar, right? Bajirao II killed son of Raghunath Rao. हाँ, the same person. Clear? So now British supported this Peshwa. So Raghunath Bajirao II killed the brother of Yashwantrao Holkar, right, who was the Maratha Sardar, okay, holding the Indore region. So he killed the brother of Yashwantrao Holkar. Now in rebellion, or in the implication of it, Yashwantrao Holkar defeated the combined army of Scindia and Peshwa. Scindia and Peshwa. Now after getting anxious with this defeat, this Bajirao II signed Treaty of Bassein in 1802, right? What were the provisions of Treaty of Bassein? They were quite similar to the subsidiary alliance, which was quite prevalent and active during these times, during the Governor Generalship of Wellesley. Clear? After the signing of this treaty, various Maratha Sardar realized that what Peshwa has done, because Peshwa happened to be the leader of Maratha Sardars, right, during the time of Bajirao. Various confederations came into existence when it comes to Maratha power, right. Pune was under Peshwa, Bhosles were in Nagpur, Gaikwads were in Baroda, Holkars were in Indore, and Scindia or Shinde were in Gwalior, right. So various confederations of Maratha powers realized that what this Peshwa has done, right, it has, I mean, he has lost our sovereignty to English East India Company. So to gain that sovereignty, or to atone for a mistake that Peshwa has done, various Maratha Sardars fought wars with English East India Company, but not in combined strength, right, not in combined strength. When Scindia faced English East India Company, the others were standing, and when then East India Company attacked the other powers, Scindias were nursing their wounds. Okay? So these were the conditions. So various battles occurred during this time period of 2 years. When it comes to the important battles and important treaty that was signed during this very course, so there were Treaty of Deogaon, which was signed by Battle of Argaon. Battle of Argaon. After this battle, a Treaty of Deogaon was signed in 1803 with Bhosles. Clear? That ये Argaon is in Odisha. When it comes to Scindias, so Treaty of Sarji Anjangaon was signed with Scindias after the Battle of Assaye and Battle of Laswari, right. So Battle of and Battle of Laswari, Treaty of Sarji Anjangaon was signed with Scindia. Clear? Now when it comes to Holkars, so separate treaty was signed with Holkars in 1805. So in 1805, Treaty of Rajghat was signed with Holkar, right? And when it comes to the conclusion, Marathas lost their sovereignty to East India Company, right? Peshwa has signed subsidiary alliance. Major chunk of forces under Peshwa were disbanded. A military contingent was stationed at Pune, right? And all these Maratha Sardars have already signed their respective treaties with English East India Company. So this is the very conclusion of this war. Clear? Now let's move to the concluding war, that is Third War. The time period for it is 1817 to 1880, right? So this war started with the Pindari War. And ended with abolition of Peshwaship. Abolition of Peshwaship and all other Maratha confederates lost their sovereignty, clear, and accepted the sovereignty of East India Company. So when it comes to the background, after the second Anglo-Maratha war, various Maratha Sardar, their power was reduced but not decimated. So they were nursing the dream of gaining their sovereignty, right, back again. So during this very time, they realized that it is the time when British launched their attack against the Pindaris. So Pindaris happened to be loose auxiliaries, right, of Marathas. They were kind of dacoits who used to oppress the local people there, clear? And some of the times initially they were under the control or some partial control of Maratha Sardars, but after the second Anglo-Maratha wars, they were the Maratha Sardars lost their considerable control over the Pindaris. So they were oppressing the local people there. Various British agents were arrested by them and looted by them. So British East India Company under the Governor Generalship of Warren Hastings launched an attack over Pindaris. So this war started with Pindari War, right? So various Pindaris were decimated and some of them were settled into the agricultural lands by granting them various land grants. So it started with Pindari War. Now Maratha Sardars saw this as an opportunity to gain their lost opportunity, clear? But again they could not find the wisdom to attack the English East India Company in a united manner. So when it comes to the course of this event, Scindia was already purchased by the English East India Company to remain neutral, right? So Scindias were neutral. When it comes to Holkars, now the confederate of Holkar was under an infant child, an 11-year-old child who could not provide an effective leadership to the forces, clear? So this was the background there. So various Maratha confederates tried to attack the English East India Company in a united manner, but again because of some treachery, because of the nefarious activity of some confederates, this objective was not fulfilled. So various battles took place. Scindias were already neutral in this war. So Bhosles were defeated at Sitabaldi, right? Bhosles were defeated at Sitabaldi. Sitabaldi is in Nagpur. Clear? Holkars were defeated in the battle of Mahidpur, right? Holkars were defeated. At Mahidpur. Right? Mahidpur is in Madhya Pradesh. And Peshwa himself was dashing with his contingent from one place to the other, right? From Pune he went to the Bhima Koregaon region, where the forces of Peshwa were defeated by English East India Company, right? With the forces of Mahar regiment there, right? So from there, Bhima Koregaon region, he went to Kanpur, and in Kanpur he was finally defeated, and he was stationed in Kanpur and granted a pension, annual pension there, right? So after the conclusion of this war, the Peshwaship was abolished, right? Peshwaship was, and Peshwa was stationed at Bittergaon, Kanpur with an annual pension, right? And when it comes to the other confederates, Gaikwads were not party to it, Scindias were not party to it, only Bhosles and Holkars participated in it, right? And various treaty was signed with them, and all these four confederates of Maratha power signed respective treaty with East India Company, right? And in the conclusion of this war, this final war, in the battery of Anglo-Maratha wars, Maratha powers lost their sovereignty or sovereignty once for all, right? A small kingdom at Satara was created to respect the feelings of Maratha people, and a descendant of Chhatrapati was installed at this kingdom. But even this kingdom was annexed by East India Company in 1848 with the provisions of doctrine of lapse. Right? So this is all about the Anglo-Maratha wars.